everybody. I want to begin by stating this presentation about benefits of Africana studies, and I want to begin by disclosing the TED Talk video of how he introduces the statement, how he says that there's an outer shell to culture and how you greet people within a different foreign community. I can say that I can definitely relate when you're in a foreign country, like I was, and previously, some of you guys recognize that I was stationed overseas in Japan. You greet very fairly, very calmly, very peacefully, but you say "Ohayo gozaimasu," so which means like good morning, hello, as a greeting form, and they just see like they look at you weird because you're different ethnic race and stuff, and so I had to place myself in a different subculture, not necessarily like it was scary, intimidating, yes, but you have to like I had to force myself to be in that predicament. So I know that the feeling, and I could understand by him saying like, yeah, when you're forced to go into different subcultures, you want to start with a greeting. A greeting could go on and on and on about like it could open a dialogue, it could open a conversation, it could be welcoming, non-threatening to different subcultures. So the second question that I want to talk about is like, do you have close friends that are different racial identities and racial traditions? Yeah, actually, I have several friends from all over the parts of the world and all over parts of the United States. That being because I put myself in a place setting where I knew that the Navy's a melting pot. So not only do I have friends from like the same background as I am, but I have friends that are like Chinese, that are Indonesian, that are Filipino, that are African American, that are actually from Africa, from Ghana. So I have the beautiful experience to actually like subculturally, like one of my best friends is Haitian. She was born in Haiti and she speaks Creole, and she exposes me the daily dialogue, and I've eaten her food and I've been with her. We have like a great connection, and she's like my sister, and she's from a different race. So I am so happy that I got to meet her in the military, because it wasn't like when I served it, like I said so many times before, it's not that you see race, it's kind of like how am I going to survive and how are we going to make it through. So without thinking that, like, yeah, you put that in the back burner, you hear their accents, or you hear their language dialogue, which could be very different than yours, but at the end of the day, it should like it's not preventing for me to create this atmosphere of friendship or submerging myself into their culture, beliefs, or values, or foods, or anything. Just because I know what it is to live in a foreign country, I visited different countries where the language was not English. So I've been to China, and it's very if you don't welcome it and you like trying to inferior yourself from them, it kind of like builds some tension, and you're already putting yourself in a disposition where you're not being accepting or open-minded about the community that you're submerging yourself into. And lastly, I want to say, considering the final presentation, how do you feel about the benefits of learning a different culture, community, or different racial identified groups? I believe that like the benefits of having a class like this, it gives the opportunity to many students on campus to see the values of a different cultural background, not just like, yeah, is a Black community because we're in Africana studies, but it sees and it surpasses just the basic foundations or the stereotypes that people tend to have on a community. Like you go further in depth in the history, or you learn about the cultural values, acceptance of how society has molded either a negative or a positive impact in this influence. I feel like I took this class because I actually wanted to learn more. Even so, like the fact that I was stationed overseas and I have friends from all over the world. I literally have my best friends from Nigeria, one of my best friends from the military as well. And I know his language and he speaks it fluently with his mother. So I have a couple friends from Ghana as well. I have friends from all over the world. So the fact that I get to open-mindedly go into a class that could educate me correctly on some education level of their community, I would take the chance. I learned so much throughout this identified group. I mean, like I knew so much as it is about the African American community, but I'm happy that I took the course because it exposed me to a different side of it, more and thorough and more historical, which I really, really do appreciate. So at the end, like that's what I gained from this course, the benefits of the Africana studies. So I appreciate that. Thank you for listening, as always. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.